Hello, Hans Calder here from Hobart Marriage Counselling. It's actually part 2 of a video I did before about how to keep the loving feeling, because what I get couples here and they say, look, we love each other but we've lost the loving feeling. So in a previous video I talked about different words of love and what love means and how to sort of keep the loving feeling, but in this video I'm going to show you another way that we can keep the loving feeling, just an understanding of how we work as humans. So there's 3 things that we do all the time. We are thinking, so this is what we do, we think, we're doing things, which is behaviour, or either doing things and saying things, and we're feeling things. And all these are very closely connected, and we're always doing all 3 at some point. Thinking, feeling, and behaving and doing. Now, when it comes to love, when you first fall in love and that romantic phase, what you have loving feelings. So you have loving feelings. So you meet someone, they're attractive, you talk to them, and you feel it. There's quite a few feel-good chemicals going through your system at that time. It's nearly the same as OCD. You know, you're thinking about this person all the time, you can't get them out of their mind, and you prepare for them, and when they send a text, your heart rate goes up. Yeah, it's quite an exhilarating feeling when you first fall in love, that romantic love. It's just great. And I remember when I was in that place, when I was romantically in love, I felt, man, if only this could be a forever moment, if only I could feel this forever, what a great feeling. But what happens after a while is that the feeling goes. But let me tell you about the feeling. So you have this loving feeling, and you certainly think loving thoughts, you automatically think loving thoughts, and you think you're in love, and you'll follow up those loving feelings with loving behaviours. You'll do it automatically, actually. And it really shows you how strong feelings are, how strong feelings can change our thinking about things, and also feelings can change and have a great impact on our behaviours. I think sometimes we underestimate that part of who we are as human beings. The emotive feelings drive us. Well, what happens when the feeling's gone? And that often happens with couples. The loving feelings go. So how do I get the loving feelings back? Well, there's 2 ways to do it. The first thing you need to do is you need to decide to have loving thoughts, actually. So you need to have loving thoughts about the person who you are in love with, or love. Loving thoughts. Now, the way to really have good loving thoughts is you need to ask yourself, particularly if you're right down the bottom and you think, oh, all the loving feelings are gone, you need to actually think. And one of the things you need to think about is, does the person who I love have the characteristics of a person that I can definitely spend the rest of my life with? And it's just actually good to think about those things. I remember when my wife and I, we weren't sort of having issues and troubles, and sometimes you think, man, I could have done better than this. But if I think clearly and go, actually, she's got the character qualities of a person I can spend the rest of my life with. She's kind, she's generous, she's thoughtful, she's good to talk to, she's warm, she's good in the company of others. I just like being with her when things are good. So she's got the characteristics of a person I can definitely spend the rest of my life with. Now, what you need to do once you have those thoughts, loving thoughts, you need to back up your loving thoughts with loving behaviours. So that means doing and saying loving things. So once you start thinking loving thoughts, and then you do and say loving things. So you go out of your way. You might offer them a simple thing like a cup of tea, compliments. You talk to them in a kind, caring, compassionate way. You need to be forgiving, you need to be patient, you need to offer yourself to do things for them. And so you put in loving behaviours and loving words. And so once you put in loving words and loving behaviours, then what happens is that the loving feelings can actually come back, because you'll get the person often then responding in kind. And so if two people decide, okay, the love's gone, it's somewhat depleted, what are the things that we really appreciate about each other? Sometimes I get actually couples to write out a list. Write out a list of all the things that you really like about your partner, the characteristics, the qualities that they've got for both. And can these qualities really make the relationship last? Well, let's back this up with doing loving things, saying loving words, and at some point we'll certainly, we hope, or we believe that the loving feelings will return. You might not be able to see this down here, anyway. I've written down here, loving feelings. I hope that you can get your loving feelings back again.